Was I always a runner? Hell no. It was actually a really big joke amongst my friends that if I were ever in a fight or getting jumped, I would stand a better chance fighting than I would running away. I couldn't even run down the block without gasping. Hey everyone, so I am jumping in here today to chat about all things running and a few lessons that I've learned from my last 5 years of running. In the last 5 years, I've gone from not being able to run for 30 seconds straight to doing a lot of 5Ks and even a 10K mud run, so a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I also want to touch on a few tips for beginner runners if that's where you're at. Now, I was never a runner. That was not my thing. My knees hurt. I was a smoker for 12 years. I literally just could not run at all, which is cool. I accepted my fate a long time ago. But when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I was getting so twitchy. We were out and it was summertime and I was just getting so twitchy that everyone was outside running and jumping and doing all the things that I normally love to do in the summer, but I was super pregnant. Both my girls had the same due date, which was the beginning of September, which means I'm pregnant all summer long, every single time. And so while I can still do a lot of the things that I wanted to do, I couldn't do everything. And so I was getting really frustrated. And I told my husband that I was going to run a 5K when I was done being pregnant. And he laughed, with good reason, like full good reason to laugh. But I was serious. We watch a lot of Walking Dead, and have you ever noticed how much running there is in zombie shows? I'm pretty sure that I could climb, fight, grapple, all those things, but run away, I'd be screwed. So I decided to run a 5K. I had my daughter, I started running around 6 months, and I used the Couch 5K app. And the very first time that it asked me to run for 30 seconds, I laughed. I couldn't do it. I could not get through the 30 seconds straight of running. It was absolutely insane. So I had some work to do. So little by little I got better. But then again, the same thing, when it asked me to run for 5 minutes, I stopped and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It did get better, and I'm happy to say that my first 5K did happen right before my daughter turned a year old. But it was terrible in the sense that I was gaspy and breathless, and it was super freaking hard. So that's fine, I still got through it. I pushed, and I have now been running for 5 years, and somewhere along the way have become that crazy person who fell in love with it, which I totally did not expect. So one of the things that I've learned from running is to slow the F down. Now, one of my biggest problems when I started running was that I couldn't pace myself. Like, I am all out or nothing, apparently. I thought I was going slow, it turns out I wasn't. So learning how to slow down was huge, and that really came into play in other things too. Again, with kids, for me, I always want to be productive. Like, I'm a go person, and you can't. Okay, kids, when you go for a walk, you're not briskly walking for the next 30 minutes. You are stopping to pick up every dandelion, look at a worm, find a pretty colored rock every 3 seconds. And so running taught me that it's okay to slow down because you're still moving. Every movement is still moving. So that's a good thing to remember if you were just starting out with running. I got super discouraged that I was basically gasping all of the time. And the truth is that putting one step forward is huge, okay? That is the biggest thing you can do. So even slow movement is still moving, okay? Another lesson I learned was to calm down and breathe. Now, I always thought those people who kind of found their running zone and could almost meditate while they ran were crazy. Like, legit crazy. How the hell do you ignore the whole, my quads are burning and I'm kind of gaspy and deathly in the middle of your run? But it took me 3 years and I finally got to that place, so now I'm the crazy person, which is just wonderful. And that's okay, because I learned that if you can breathe through it, you can do anything. And that came into play a lot with my second labor. My first labor was just a gong show, as most people's first labors are, but with my second, because I had been running, I was actually able to kind of tap into that place in your mind and work your way through it. Okay, so when you are super stressed, when the world is overwhelming, or when your runs are just not going how you want them to, breathe. Learn to breathe and work your way through it. My next lesson is that it feels pretty good to breathe some fire every day. So I am not one for mantras, but somehow I developed them in my mind during every one of my runs. I never had a game plan for a saying I was going to say to get me through the runs. They just sort of happened. And one of the ones that came out sporadically while I was gasping and breathless was that it feels pretty good to breathe some fire. I was doing a run for my cousin who passed away from breast cancer, and all I could think about was how she loved running. Like, that was her thing. It was never my thing, but she would have loved to be able to feel that breathless fire feeling because it means you're alive, okay? And so that's gotten me through more runs than I can count. So please remember that in the midst of it being insane, it feels good to breathe a little fire, okay? Now, a few tips for if you are new to running. Like I said, I was a goddamn disaster when I started running. I just wasn't that great. So my tips are very, very simple and very, very geared to new runners. The first is that you need to be strong to run. The reason that my knees and hips hurt while I ran is because I was not strong. You need strong glutes in order to run and to support your pelvis and make sure you don't have knee pain. Okay, so that's always step number one. Make sure you are strong before you go out running. The next step is to pace yourself and slow it down. So this lesson just took me way too long to learn because I wanted to go, and I wanted to go fast and do all the things because that's how I roll. But the truth is, it just doesn't work that way. So slow it down. And even slow movement is good movement. Slow it down, take your breaks when you need them, and just work your way forward bit by bit by bit. The third is to get proper running shoes. So something I greatly underestimated when I started running and had wicked shin splints and a hell of a lot of knee pain. And I went to my osteopath, who ironically is a runner and an amazing one. Her mom was like the running coach for the Olympic team in insane. So I always ask her my running questions. We realized that I'm a heel striker, which is bad, and I was running in some beat up shoes, which is bad. So I learned that I need forefront cushion shoes, and when I got them, the world changed. Running became way less painful, not easy, but in terms of discomfort, a lot better. So invest in proper running shoes. And lastly, this is both a lesson and a tip. It's all about you, okay? So it is really, really easy to compare running times or weightlifting numbers or looks to someone else, but running is all you. It is just you against you, pushing to be better, to do better. No one else matters. This is the okay signal to be conceited as hell. Just focus on you, okay? That's all you gotta do.